And we're recording. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so welcome to another installment of Exploring Consciousness with the Earth Nouveau team. And today we have Andrea Basilio as our guest. So Andrea is an alchemist and she's a raw vegan food master. And today she's going to introduce us to her concept of alchemical living, nourishing, and healing the mind, body, and soul from the earth, with the earth, and for the earth. So, welcome everyone to a holographic dining experience, a food and magical clearing journey. Okay. And before I give over the talking stick to Andrea, I'm just going to run you through. It's a little bit of a program. We're going to kick it off. First of all, I'd like to ask you to mute. Andrea's going to start off with a little prayer. Then she's going to do a food revocation. She will take us through the dining experience, so we all get a holographic experience of the food. I was lucky to get it delivered last night to my house, so I've already tasted some of it, and I can guarantee you, lovelies, it is amazing. So she's put a lot of effort into this, and then afterwards, once the dining is finished, we're going to have coffee and questions, and then we're going to close off with a prayer. All right? So I'm going to pass on to Andrea, and we're going to start off with her prayer.
Aloha. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Martina, for the introduction, and thank you for the Earth Nouveau for having me as a guest. So I can showcase my concept. I can showcase what I've been working on, and I think it just created itself, to be honest, with ease, flow, abundance, and joy. So I think I'm going to switch off my screen so that all of you can switch off your screen if you like. I can say the prayer with my screen, and then for the food revocation after that, I will switch off so we can all just, focus and take it easy and relax. Okay, so I'm going to start with the prayer. I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, that hollowness beyond all consciousness. The I, the it, the all. I draw my bow rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breeze, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I.
That was lovely. Thank you, Andrea.
Alchemical, food revocation, invocation, and invitation. I found you. Thank you. I am now here to heal your pain. Let's become one and grow together. I, in this ever-present co-creative moment of now, as a conscious being of choice, grown as fetus in my mother's womb, I choose to engage my hindsight and foresight as my birthright and legacy, to go beyond this contracted and chaotic reality and have access to the mystical and unseen world. Have conscious awareness about all foods in dreamtime and astral realms, on surface and subsurface, hollow world, to allow the unknown to become known for the express purpose of reprogramming my three selves: subconscious mind, conscious mind, superconscious mind, and my body deeply into my own blood and bone marrow, and with this resetting my blueprint to its natural way of being, so that divine intelligence will transmute and transform, purify, cut and release all negative and unwanted memories, blocks and energies we have created, accumulated, and accepted from the beginning of our creation to the present. I call upon all spiritual contracts that exist in a court of equity in all foods, including GMO food, abuse of animals for human consumption, abuse of power and money with food, harmful drugs, toxins, and chemicals in a mass production of foods, slavery, the idea of being in the top or the bottom of the food chain, starvation, punishment and torture with food, unethical farmlands, plantations, and any other lands that are associated with creating harmful foods, the journey and possible contamination for importing and exporting foods, and the high taxes that attached to these, the plastic and harmful materials that are produced for food, that are unsustainable and damaging Mother Earth, harming forests, nature reserves, lands, flowers, trees, and any other plants and creatures. I call upon all four elements, earth, fire, air, water, and all of the alchemical and galactical creatures and beings and the cosmos to come and join me in union and communion with Mother Earth in a no competition and no hierarchy order for all sentient kind. I release and revoke all contracts I had with all foods that I have ever eaten, didn't digest, that is stuck in my body, that it's tainted with ancestral karmic energies, that it's stuck in my lymphatic system and gut, that was pre-programmed into my body as an addiction, or any food I am addicted to that is creating anger, frustrations, hate, that I received from a toxic person or place, or I exchanged for money or other goods, unethical work, harmful objects, people, that is hanging as a mortgage on my soul, and it is eating up my body. I am now inviting to release all entities from my body that are occupying energies that is creating an unhealthy balance in my life. I release all mercuries, toxins in my mouth, jaw, teeth, tongue, tonsils, digestion system, and fat cells. I remove all unwanted memories in the past, present, and future about rejecting, receiving, giving, regurgitating harmful foods. I remove my worrying about chewing or not chewing, the pain in my mouth and teeth. I now fortify all my body parts associated with food, including my fat cells, organs, atoms, molecules, any particles of dust. I release all blockages that I have accumulated over eons and eons of time. I remove all skin diseases, moles, liver spots, or any other diseases such as hair loss, blindness, loss of hearing, loss of taste, loss of teeth, loss of bones, or in or outer growth of bone, and loss of all multidimensional senses. I remove all time-based contracts that were associated with all foods and any stigmas attached to these, and make all of these sacred. I remove all unwanted and negative energies of beliefs, polarity, anger, rage, disrespect, predatorial energies, conclusions, ideas, competition-based beliefs, fears, worrying, chewing over issues or spitting out fiery garbage, illusions, and forced evolution and non-hierarchical ideas and system of domination and control in any way, shape, or form that I have attached themselves to any parts of foods, I remove all unwanted abuse I created with my ideologies of all foods, and if I stepped onto other people's sovereign free will, or they did to mine. I now invoke my alchemical energies in union and communion with Earth, and I ask and I say, heal my body from top to toe, inside and out. Any pain that I'm experiencing within my body, say to it, I love you. Thank you for being here. It is now my time to let you go and fully transform, awaken, and reset my blueprint with a source of light, unconditional love, and total freedom. I am the I present moment. I am now claiming my power back. I'm a multidimensional photomic being of light and co-creating with the energy of the natural living earth and galaxies with my higher self in this and other realities, seen and unseen, that is already existing and will exist and penetrate those awakened to a new era of I am love. And I'm inviting all of my signature frequencies to come and be part of this movement. I'm inviting pure divine love into my cells so they can regenerate, fortify, and reset. I am inviting the foods of love to enter my body that was deprived from me, and I couldn't love myself. I acknowledge my self-worth, the shining bright and golden light that is already in me, that I am. The source, the creator, the hub of interconnectivity, and the free spirit that I am going through my journey in this 3D and 5D reality from my heart. I am standing at the sanctuary of love, where all creatures and beings come together in total peace and unity. And I'm inviting you to taste freedom, to sample the products of Mother Earth, to unite with your true innate soul, to go inside your body and heal from pure love, to love yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm inviting you to come to this alchemical and galactical and earthly healing food market and embrace the fifth world of peace. And now let's alchemize this deeper and make it sacred, as everything is and comes from within. I call upon all signature matches of mine who are these peace creators and peacekeepers to come and gather with me in a non-hierarchical, no competition environment and speak our own truth with equality in our own shamanic peace fight. I invite you all to this immortal and infinite megahertz of frequency that will enable us to invite our body and brain to its full capacity. Be an abundant flow and communion with the euphoric heart that I am. I now fully accept and become this euphoric frequency, living being and co-creator of Earth, as part of my past, present, and future self of simultaneously existing, who has this intention of taking this revocation, invocation, invitation, and demand to myself into a very structure of the cranial sacral pulse, all of my chakras, and the very bone marrow and blood, and apply it to my blueprint. So I reset my blueprint and work that has a great impact on the karmas and dharmas of my lives. I call forth to all ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the Earth Akashic records for all sentient kind to understand. Our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times This is the I am legacy of I. Aho.
Aho.
Wow.
Aho.
Ahoy. Let's take a
Okay.
couple of breaths.
So,
Thank you.
yes, now we
Hold on a second, Andrea. I just want to say something. Thank you very much for that. That was very powerful. Could all we could all feel that.
Yeah,
Take
really
a moment
good.
and just breathe before you continue. Yeah.
right.
I might actually in the meantime just have a little I mean, just because I can, right? And
You're
you
not
can
supposed to
Yeah,
start
right?
with dessert, Martina, but never mind.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
She's being naughty already.
Begin. I'll shut up.
Right. So, like I was saying, yeah, thank you for listening to this. It's took me a while to put it together. Yeah. But as we take a breather, as we're going through the tasting, I just wanted to ask if you can please mute yourselves. And Lindsay is there. Hi, Lindsay. I love you. And Nikki, thank you for joining. She was the one who interviewed the first time for Marrow Vegan Food. Nikki Patrick is here from radio. Thank you, Nikki. I love you. So what we'll do is I'm going to go through the tasting. I'm going to explain everything as we go along, and Martina can taste in real time. So that will be real time and holographic time. And you can, if you have any questions or if something pops up, write it down or make a note, a mental note of it. And at the end, when we finish everything, we can discuss. We have a coffee, as Martina said. So I'm going to share my screen, Martina, okay?
Yes, please do.
So we go to, hang on, sorry. We go to the starters before you eat your dessert. Share screen. She's my master taster. Okay. Can everybody see this?
Yes. Guys, you can see that, yeah?
Just put it in the chat. Yes.
It should all be there for everyone to see.
You can see, yeah, that's great.
Just
Thank
put it
you.
in the chat. Write it in the chat. You don't have to, yeah. So cool. All right. So. As you can see, there is the Raw Vegan from the Heart. There's the menu. There's alchemical food journey, holographic dining, and taking 100% responsibility for our self-identity. What does this mean? It means that today we are going beyond. We are going beyond alchemy, beyond. And that's what it means about holographic. That's what it means. Whether Martin is going to taste it live or not, we can all taste everything here together. But this is my concept that I've developed and worked on for this year. This is the year for me that I feel everything came together, and this is the year we talked about it, this Martina, in January, that this is the year that we have been preparing all our life for, and I'm very grateful for this year personally. So what you see there, it's on those plates, it says amuse-bouche. It's called a remedial chakra balls. Now, Mary is the lucky lady who tasted my first experiment. This started out as an experiment, and it's made with almonds. So what you see on that plate, there are some crystals. Of course, I didn't give that to Martina, but she has those little pots. She received those little pots you see, and Mary too. So what does that mean? It means purity. So these bowls are made of almonds. They represent purity, which is our self-identity. And purity also is a sacred chakra, that it's protection, purity, and power. But I want to focus on the self-identity, okay? And I'm going to also explain about almonds. So it started out as an experiment, and everything I do, it's a process. So it's a process for me first, because we always take care of our self-identity. That's the first. Everything is within, as I read in the revocation. So these chakra balls, for me, the way I created this, it represents our existence, our beginning of our existence. As you can see behind me, this wall is white. So that's what we are, natural state of mind, zero state of mind. If you will, we are nothing. If we are zero, that's how we were born from our beginning of our creation, just like we say in the revocation. This is also represents our superhighway and connects to the vagus nerve. And as I created this, it's a process. You have to peel off the skin of the almond. And what happens is, I don't know if you can see this, and obviously when you peel it off, then you see purity. Okay, and you can create a milk from it, which I made a magic mushroom money drink for Martina last night. No drugs involved.
Shame, unfortunately.
Just chaga mushroom, which is the king of mushrooms. But this is why Martina is my master taster, because she inspires me to even go higher. So purity is, let's say, if we take the opposite of purity, it could be a mess. It could be a confusion. Now we already know what confusion tastes like. We already know what crap tastes like. What we're experiencing. So by today, right now, we can take 100% responsibility and taste purity. We can go behind alchemy. I would like to invite all of you and everyone who will be watching this later, or in any other realms, or watching now from off-world, as anyone, because I have a lot of people here in the circle. So let's taste purity. What does it mean to be really taking 100% responsibility for our self-identity? Okay? So when I create these dishes, I don't know what's going on. I just wake up and I just do it. I can't tell you how I do this. This is my magic. This is what I do. I just do it. But this what came out of it. So our self-identity, our purity. So we know what the bad tastes like. How come we invite our body? So why not we invite our body to taste the purity, to taste the pureness of our self-identity, of us? How do we really taste like? So when I ask these questions, you don't really have to answer them, but just let all of you see what comes up in you naturally, and then we can discuss it after. Or what is required to taste purity. And what is it that we are not allowing so what is it that we are not allowing to really open up within our heart to taste this purity? Because these remedial chakra pools, what they do is they reset. That's why I say they are the super highway. So when Martina ate her cayenne and paprika one, that gives you the spice. There is one with lemon, bergamot lemon, I think I put in it, or normal lemon. That will give much more clarity. Every bowl is different. Or there is one with turmeric, there was one with matcha, there was one with beetroot powder, there was one with blueberry. So there are different kind of bowls. There was one with Earl Grey on the plate. It's with Earl Grey tea. So it can be made to totally set that for people. And as I going through my journey, and I'm learning this every day. every day for me it's an experiment. Every day is just a learning for me, a learning experience, and I'm grateful for that. And um, as I'm going through this, what I do is I don't really say, okay, I'm going to create this because of that. I just wake up, I said, okay, I'm going to create that. And what I do after that, I look it up. And as I'm going through this and I look up all these things, what does it mean or what is this? It always either creates for a client, creates for the earth, creates for me, takes me on their journey, takes me on the process. I write about it. I write a lot for the past few months. I have some close people near to me who inspire me to write, who even if I don't speak to them, they help me to create. Very, very close friend of mine, or near people who are near to me, including Martin, of course. And what happened is I realized that as I'm researching that in the ancient times, these the food I am creating, they were actually considered a higher value than money, a higher than anything. As I'm researching that, they call it abundance, which we're going to go through, which I'm going to explain. So it's interesting that we have been programmed to believe the total opposite. So we don't think of these products not necessarily as a high value or as an abundance, and yet they are, because they are nourishing our body. And this is protein. This is pure protein in there. And let me just give you a little bit of background about the almonds. Okay, so it did say, so the purity of the virgin, it comes from native Syria and Palestine, and it's the first flower awakening, which is perfect for this. I'm saying, I just create this and here you go, awakening. This is perfect for this year as well. And of course, it helps weight loss. I said that it's a sacral chakra. It has amino acids, it has protein, good for your brain. It's a healthy fat, and of course, and also it assists with sexuality, which is a bonus, or sexual frustrations if you have. But whatever helps. And it helps to remove that the body. Uh, um, so the body is not bound, like we are not imprisoned in our body, and then we start to be in the flow and we start to move. And it's a spiritual awakening. So like I said, when I created this, I didn't know what I was creating, and it just turned out does that, an awakening and a taste for purity. So let's all taste purity. Martin, I can taste it live. And Mary, I don't know if Mary has the things, but that's what the almonds represents. And I was making the milk out of it, and the milk is so pure, and which is what I made for Martina last night. So I thought, oh, that'd be great to go with the bowl and the drink. So I've already created, already evolved, and it just keeps evolving, keeps evolving. Like I said, each day for me, it's an experiment, and each day something turns up. So the more I take care of my self identity, the more purity I create. So that's what I wanted to start with. So we start with zero, all of us now. We start with purity, we reset. Okay. And our starter is on the screen, you see, is an ancestral soup, which we spoke about it before. I'm sure we mentioned it. Again, the ancestral soup, I do many different soups, and I create these soups in the moment. Every food I create is in the moment. Whatever is available, whatever is in season, it's organic, contains no sugar, my food, as well. But yeah, everything I create, it's in the moment. The soup, at that moment, I decide, okay, what kind of herbs I'm going to put in, what kind of vegetable I'm going to make the soup with. Let's say if I prepared something at night and I wake up, it would, there would be no point to it. So what I decided, okay, I said, I'm going to leave it. So I woke up and I said, okay, what I'm going to use. And today for Earth Nouveau, I chose pumpkin, which is can't be an accident, as you will hear when I'm explaining what it is. So I chose pumpkin. I spiced it up nicely. And pumpkin represents seeds of possibilities. Okay, so now we tasted purity, we go moving up. So pumpkin seeds considered to be a seeds of possibilities. You know, sometimes we say, count your blessings. So this pumpkin is a seeds of possibilities, and it says represents also abundance. Again, I didn't plan this; it just happened after I looked it up. And the questions here are for you to consider: is what are the possibilities that are currently in your life that you're resisting? You know, sometimes, you know, when I talk about the energy of possible, the energy of possible, the energy of possible is, imagine just for a moment, just for this exercise, that you have an internal button. And this internal button called the energy of possible. We all have one. It might be invisible, but we all have one. So what will it take you to push this button, to open this treasure chest? What if you were trusting your gut? And the reason I said gut, because gut is our second brain, as we know that. So when I create the ancestral soup, for me the ancestral soup always connected to congealed energies that we collected from the past. So it can block our gut. So we already tasted how that tastes like. So now let's go beyond that. Let's go beyond that alchemy and go to another level of alchemy and taste the seeds of possibilities. What are the seeds of possibilities taste like? Can we actually imagine that? Can we even comprehend it? How would it taste like? What would it taste like? The seeds of possibilities, because when our gut is clear, we can actually taste it and we can imbue and receive the taste. So much so that now with the holographic dining, we can actually taste the soup without even having it. And they are the seeds of possibilities. So are you willing to receive that? You don't have to. There is no right and there is no wrong and there is no judgment. I'm just inviting your body for possibilities, to push that button, to open the treasure chest for the seeds of possibilities and for the abundance. You know, sometimes you can make a huge decision to say, okay, I'm going to make a life-changing choice. And then suddenly you start to have these doubts, of doubts. So we know how that tastes like. Now let's taste the seeds of possibilities. Put it in our flesh, because pumpkin is quite fleshy, isn't it? You know, a lot of flesh. So let's take it in our flesh and trust our gut. Because when we taste the seeds of possibilities, then we're going to trust. We're going to trust, yes, I'm going to take this. I'm going to receive this, no matter where it comes from. We don't have to know. We don't have to question. It is just this. So remember, we started from zero, purity, and now we are opening up to possibilities. Okay? And on to. I'm tasting it. I'm definitely tasting it. Abundant flow is in action now, kicking in for me, I think. I hope for other people as well. And we have act upon inspirations, of course. So Martina's main course, or our main course for Earth Nouveau, as you can see on those beautiful pictures, was a kelp wrap. So Martina had that fancy plate, that is the wrap, I delivered it to her last night. And I also made a bowl, just so you can see that it can be created in different ways. A kelp is like almost like a little spaghetti. It's like a see-through, transparent, almost like a pasta. And this actually has a very, very spiritual meaning to it. And it's, for me personally, the first time I created this dish, so, like again, somebody inspired me to create this. But the first time I've created this dish, I don't know if you remember, was the moon or the peace. So anyway, that was that, and yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful day when I started to experiment with this dish and when I started to evolve and create this dish. And of course, we tasted it, and then now it evolved to a complete dish. You know, I marinated it. There are some sprouts in it. The sprouts are life force because they can survive. It has some watercress, a little bit of cabbage. I added a little bit of quinoa. I added some sesame seeds. It's all protein based as well. And if somebody would like to add some tofu or tempeh, because that's, of course, that's all protein, they can do that. But I just want to showcase also that you can eat a lot of protein with the raw vegan food plan and food diet as well. So kelp, now this is where it's going to get interesting. Kelp is for manifesting. Now we're getting manifesting. You see, we have purity. We discover the possibilities that we have now. We switch that button on, and now we are going on to manifesting. So we're going on to manifesting miracles and money, which is what kelp means. And actually, the alchemical planet for the kelp is the moon, which is what I said. That's when I started to create this fish. And it was the new moon, or the beast new moon, I can't remember that exact name. And that was, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So the kelp grows under the surface. So we are connected totally as subconscious mind, our inner child. And when you take 100% responsibility and you take a good care of your subconscious and inner child, you can be tapped into miracles and inspirations beyond your imagination. So when you're willing to collaborate with your subconscious, with your inner child, it's the best business partnership you can ever have. And that's what this represents, this dish. We know what it means. We know the taste when we are not in that state. And the total opposite of that is entanglements. So we can entangle, we can hold on to, we can hold on to things that we are holding on to dear life. We don't want to let go. We don't even know why. We're just holding on, holding on, holding on, holding on. Rather than ease. Let's taste the kelp. Let's taste the kelp Buddha ball. Let's taste the wrap. Let's take in the life force of those sprouts, the freshness of the flowers or the watercress. I think soldiers used to eat watercress, so they get so strong. Isn't that incredible? Who would have thought in the old days? And of course, kelp, seaweed. So we are weeding the stuff out. We are going deep, deep, deep. We don't have to know what it is, as long as we release. So we are addressing very important soul lessons here. Okay, so yes. So what are you willing to give up? What entanglements are you willing to give up to taste miracles, to taste the abundance, to be in flow with your subconscious, in collaboration and co-creation with your subconscious? Are you willing to taste? Are you willing to receive the taste of abundance, of the flow, and let go of entanglements? These are the questions here. Because remember, everything is just a choice. If you're not, it's okay. There's no right, no, there is no wrong. Everything is possible because we are this purity, button, entanglement, release, subconscious. 100% responsibility. That's 100% responsibility, and everything starts from within. Okay. Yes, magic and Mooka wrap. There it is. I didn't read that. Okay, Martina, finally your dessert came.
I ate everything else for lunch, so ta-da!
Yes, she's got that beautiful bowl there with that gorgeous dessert and gold, of course. But before she eats that, I would like to talk about the cheese, vegan cheese. My vegan cheese is not a substitute for cheese. If I could be called this something else, I would. Maybe you can give me some ideas. I call it like plant-based, but my cheeses are they named. And what I do with the cheese is first, like I said, I create in the moment. So I created this cheese. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to just look it up, like I said earlier. And it's called ingenuity. And the reason it's called ingenuity is because it's made from macadamia, nuts. And it's ingenuity means creativity. Okay? So purity, button, manifesting, now we're creating. Now we're taking action. Now we're going in. This is it. This is where we're going. Okay? This is where we have the powerhouse of creations, ceremonies, victories, whatever you name it, we have it. Okay? So the macadamia inspires ingenuity, creativity. Okay? It could be skill, it could be a teamwork, it could be a new project, it could be a new adventure. So this is where we go beyond imagination. It says it could spread beyond your imagination and opens the doors for you. Okay, opportunities, possibilities. Many times when I work with people, when I do my clearings, when I have my sessions, or even here now, if anybody asks a question, people try and figure things out. But the idea of it is that we just let it. You let it be in the flow. Because when we take 100% responsibility for the self, and we just do the clear, we just say, okay, let's just, as an example, just say, I love you. It's anger or fear or whatever. I love you. You let it go. That's all your job done. You don't have to go in it. You don't have to know where it is come from. You don't have to know any of that. Your job is to let it go. And then you send it up and inspiration will come in. But this is the beauty of it going beyond imagination. And I'm sure many of you know all of this who are on this call, that when you go beyond imagination with ingenuity, with a taste of ingenuity, if you will just act upon inspirations. For this year, things has been happening in my life that I can't even begin to go into. I'm writing about it, but I myself realized what happened 6 months ago. I'm thinking, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Because when you go beyond the imagination, you are in the flow. And when you are in the flow, you just act upon inspiration. You take actions. You don't know why you take it. You just act upon it. You are purely in the I am present moment. And that's how I create my dishes. And that's exactly my gift. I turn it on and I do it. Martina has been here many times and she has never ate the same dish ever again. Ever. because I wake up, I create. Not now, obviously, COVID and everything, but what I'm saying is that I wake up and create, and that's when I'm in my element, because I create for the earth, with the earth, and from the earth. That's the idea of this, the seeds of life, the seeds of opportunities, purity. And every time I go beyond, 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 in a totally different level that I never expected. So I constantly evolve. I invite my body to evolve. I give myself challenges. And I'm grateful for Martina uh, because uh, we had so many discussions and tastings and this and this and that. And this is for me, it was sometimes it was challenging to like, okay, but now it's just another level, another level. That's what I'm saying. I invite myself and my body and my mind to take those challenges, to move forward. And I invite you, all of you who are here, who will be watching this, please, you can do that. Don't give up. Don't give up. Please keep going. It could be hard. It could be uncomfortable. Please keep going. It's possible. Everything is possible. So ingenuity, macadamia, it was populated in Australia 6,000 years ago. And it, again, like I said earlier, it became a treasured food source. Okay? And it was like a currency or given as ceremonial gifts. Incredible. And it said it was as good as gold. So Martina, you're in triple gold now. So it was good as gold. And then European explored it, and then Hawaii, of course, Hawaii, I love Hawaii. And it has good nutrition, good fats, it has minerals, and it says it creates ingenious recipes, so of course, and open the doors for possibilities. So again, you can ask yourself, if you feel uncomfortable, or if you think, okay, what am I resisting? What possibilities that you already have? You already have these possibilities. All you have to do is open. Because everything is from within. Every single thing is from within. And it says that here that sometimes things are right in front of us and we don't see it. It's there to love us. Sometimes could be a person there say to you, I love you, and you don't see it. Sometimes there'll be a treasure there, right in your house, and you don't see it. I said to one of my clients, go to your garage. She said, why? It's so rubbish in there. I said, go to your garage. And 1 week later, she found something. She said, oh, I said, there you go. Sometimes we have things around us, we don't see it, and it's a treasure. And every day, that's why every day, be grateful. And you never know what's laying around your house. You never know what you already have, because you have it. And judgment, jealousy, yeah, and the dream, realizing the dream that you were holding on to for years. That if you can, invite that taste to wash out from your mouth, wash it out from your mouth. So let's invite our dreams that we might be holding on to for years and years and years, and we are not allowing it. We're not allowing to taste our dreams, literally. Taste your dreams, eat your dreams. Order some macadamia cheese from me. There you go. It opens up your dreams. Job done. Take action. And now we go to the desserts, Martina's favorite part always. We have the golden light chocolate cake, and we have the union and communion chocolate brownies. So the golden light chocolate cake, again, can be with sexual energy, sensual energy. Chocolate is always money because they use it as a currency. I'm sure many of you know that here. So what are we? Okay. So with the golden light is something that many of us have imagined before. Many of us have invited into our life before, but not many of us were willing to taste it before. So again, let's go beyond to that mountain and not just taking that light, but taste it. Let We know that we deserve better. We know that we desire better. Okay, we know that. Everybody knows that. So how bad if we taste today that gold, that light? How about if mentally we paint our house with gold, if you will, but you can paint yourself with gold? So the questions I hear that what are we ignoring, pushing back, and not willing to be or see or hear? What do we know that is there, but we're not willing to be 100% responsible for our self identity? I've been there many times in the 20 years ago, many times in my 20-year of journey. I've been there. I've got my fair share of not taking responsibility. I've done that. I've all those traumatic and years and all that. So I know that it can be, we can resist. We find thousands of excuses for not just like, we find this excuse and it's like, okay, we're not going to do it because of that. And then we say, okay, here it is. So we find the proof why we can't do it, but we do it for ourselves. And that is so much energy to lose. I know I did it. So now with this, we can taste the chocolate. We can taste the currency. We can taste the gold. Okay? We can be 100% responsible for our taste. Maybe tomorrow when you taste something, you think, oh, this is rubbish, and you're going to start eating something else. Wouldn't that be great? I'd love to hear that. That'd be hilarious. Something, totally different. So that's what the golden light represents. But, like we said, sexual energies, sensual energies, money. You can also do a cacao ceremony, which I did, was it last week or the week before? I think it was last week. I have written an amazing poem, which I'm not going to share at the moment because it came up now, so I'm not going to share. But it is with the cacao ceremony, and it is really, really connecting to your body. Every day I ask my body, what are we, what clothes we're gonna wear, what food we're gonna eat. Like since Saturday, I'm just on liquids. I eat a lot of protein in it, but I'm just liquids. Like I make a banana, let's say, sunflower seeds. I had some vanilla powder. I had the almond milk. Just purify. I'm just purifying myself since I discovered these chakra balls, and I'm okay. I'm not tired. I'm doing exercise. I'm moving forward. And when I feel it's okay, then I stop and go back to eating solids and everything. But I'm strong. I feel strong, so I don't have any problems. I'm drinking a lot of liquids. But I ask my body, and I create with my body. And I listen to my body. So again, ask yourself, what am I not listening to? What am I not aware? Because everything is you, is you, is you. It's your choice. No right, no wrong, no judgment. Union and communion chocolate brownies. I've created this recipe, I think it was 3 weeks ago. I can't remember now, 4 weeks ago, because somebody inspired me to create this dish. And this dish, the reason why I call it union and communion, because this dish was created from abuse, from somebody I worked with. And I'm happy to report that everything is okay with that person. And actually, it's now there. The person is there rather than there, which is fantastic. But it's about abuse. And this has revocation, as we know, the feminine and male, female and male aspects of life. We all have females and male parts of ourselves. And as I create the dishes, like I said, I'm going through the process myself. And I'm happy to report that I evolved since as well. So I take 100% responsibility, when I create these dishes. So the abuse, the questions here, not just about people abusing each other, but it's about one of the most important things, which is self-abuse. The opposite of taking 100% responsibility is self-abuse. We do it often. I did it. I probably will still do it. If self-abuse could be any little thing like, I don't like something on my body, or, that's an abuse. It's an abuse. So yeah, so how long are we willing to put up with our self-abuse? What is it that we like the taste of self-abuse? Is it spicy? Is it salty? Is it sweet? Is it really sweet or bittersweet? So I'm inviting you to taste the real abundance in these chocolates, the cake or the brownie. Taste it's actually made from almonds and Brazil nuts, which I haven't looked it up, but the almonds we know it's a purity. So let's taste the union and communion with the self. The union and communion with the self. Totally. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, monetarily, physically, in every level. Go beyond imagination. Let's do that, because when you commune, you unite and commune with yourself, and you create from that. Miracles will happen. Miracles. You are a miracle. We are all a miracle. So let's taste that. This is the alchemical and galactical food market. We are now on it. This is a new level. I'm inviting not just you guys, but the world to see this. I'm inviting the world and the earth to see what's going on here now. The off-worlders, the creatures, anyone. We can be that. We can breathe in the earth. We can breathe in the sacredness. We can breathe in the union and communion with the self. Because when we breathe in with the self, we are home free. That's when magic happens. That's when people awaken. That's when we awaken. When you awaken yourself, you have the zest of life. You glow. Everything around you will glow. No matter what tools do you use, but I'm inviting the people to embrace this tool, because food, like we all know this, that connects us at every level, at every inch and particle, and everywhere it connects us. And it's the seeds of life. And I recently read something in the Bible that God even was talking about. I have given you these seeds to live on. So not like meat, but the seeds of possibilities. That's beautiful. And the reason why I looked it up, because I was creating one of these dishes. This is what I do. I don't know why I look up. I don't know why I create. I just create. Or I was writing a poem. I can't remember. But this is what I'm saying, that it is possible. And I would like to share something with you from my new book, if I find it. Just to close this tasting down. This is the poem I wrote. I'm going to try and read slowly, so I feel it is fitting for all this tasting to embody what we've learned today, what we've tasted, what we went beyond, because maybe this is not going to affect you now, but it might come into fruition in 2 weeks. You will go to your kitchen, oh my God, look at that crazy Andrea, what she did to me. You never know, everything is possible. So I'm going to read my poem, one of my new poems. It hasn't been proofread, but it doesn't matter, it's raw, it's from the heart. Right. So it's called The Rawness of Life. I invite the natural wild when I talk to my inner child. I wrap the self in a soft blanket. My treasure is you and the magnet. I know you can bloom every day. I love your warmth and healing ray. I am grateful for our partnership. Together, we will steer the ship. You are my secret elixir of love. Let us commune with the white dove. Unite in the fifth world of peace. Set free the congested streets. Feeling the strength of the grass, I pour orange sunshine in the glass. Staying wild with the love of the rose. Walking in the colorful meadows. I dine and feed my life force, my life source, with the rawness of life force. Colorful spectacles and fire, enjoying everything I inspire. My body is my temple and creator. I embrace my inner gladiator. I reach for the stars and beyond. Roar from the heart with a magic wand. Aloha!
Thank you very much, darling. Thank you so much for taking us through this amazing holographic dining experience, and for sharing your passion. That is always something that's inspired me when I have, from the beginning of the journey that, I shared with you, you going to create, learn all that, and the way you apply yourself with that courage and determination that is truly, truly inspirational. So thank you for that, and thank you for making such an effort, making the food specifically for today's Zoom. We are all very honored in the Earth Nouveau team, and I can guarantee you it tasted amazing, all of it. But I'm sure you all got it holographically anyway. So now there are quite a few questions. So I'd like to open the floor now for questions.
You control this because I haven't. Sorry, I haven't looked at the chat, so I
don't worry about it. So no, there are a couple of questions. I remember there's someone was asking, do you grow your own foods? Do you want to say something to that? Where you actually source your vegetables from?
I have some herbs, of course, some organic herbs, but I have a supplier, an organic supplier. I go to the farmers market each weekend, and I have an organic supplier which I had for many years. They are very good. I know the owner, and fantastic people, because obviously where I live, it's not big enough for yet for to grow my own food. But of course, it would be amazing, of course.
So I do know that you are actually using really just quality vegetables, quality ingredients and everything. And I also want to say you have been a meat eater before. When I first met you, you were eating meat, and your cooking was, I remember you always loved cooking. But this is something different now, because it allows you to actually combine your healing capacities and your passion and your commitment. And also, I would tell us a little bit. You actually run all the revocations and everything while you're cooking as well, isn't it?
So yes, what I do, when I create something, I say, okay, so what is this required? This food, which revocation or which prayer or which blessing or which poem or whatever it requires. And or it could be the moon's energy, like when I made that incredible cake, I had to go out to drop off for a client food, and I went out and I just saw the moon, and I'm like, wow, that's incredible. And then I came home, I just created it. I've written a poem with it, and I blessed it, and it has different. It has a tool on it, a Ho'oponopono tool as well. So there are different tools that I use. Sometimes I don't like to tell people because it creates expectations. And like, when I have the money maker fight, please tell everyone, please don't have any expectations. But it actually works, because when I gave it to a lady, my neighbors, I gifted it for a fundraising, and they said the money that they raised was over that they ever expected. So it works.
Yeah. No, I personally think it's really fun to associate, you know, certain names, and you make up those names. You just make up stuff, and I really love that.
I don't know how I do it. I just, you know,
Yeah.
I just.
So guys, just come up and ask your questions to Andrea, if you have any. Or there was somebody else asking for your attitude towards food. I can't remember now. I don't know. You know, I'm using a new computer. I don't know how to go up here.
Mary, do you see anything?
Yeah, I see one here from Alan. Alan has just put up a comment. Interesting to think of a personal trauma as a taste one can experience and let go. A new twist to food medicine, food for thought. I just think that's a gorgeous comment because you know the way everything can have a taste and a smell, and especially Andrea, with the way that you work and the way that you bring your energy and your magic into everything. You almost imbue the food with your magic. And as somebody who has tasted it, I can actually, you know, say that. I mean, it's really something else. It's really, it's not so much that it's a familiar taste, but there's something really potent and energetic about it and pure.
Sorry, I'm just being mean here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's the thing, that when I make the brownies, so the brownies or the fudge, little will do because it's so potent.
Yes, yes.
So
Isn't that an interesting comment though about, you know, the trauma, having a person,
Yes.
having a taste that you can let go? Because sometimes
Yes.
when I'm working with people, I will often ask them, does it have a taste? Does it have a smell? Does it have a shape? Does it have a sound? And I just think that that's just an interesting comment in relation to the food. There was another one as well that was put up earlier. I'll just see.
Yes,
can I
yes,
find-
Mary, because remember, thank you, Alan, for this comment, because remember, sometimes we say, oh, that's bittersweet, right?
Yes,
Sometimes we
exactly.
say that. So we
Yes, we do
associate
about
it.
an experience. Yes. Yeah. So Andrea, where do you source all these beautiful ingredients then? I know you go to the farmers market.
Yes.
Is it difficult to find them?
No, they find me.
They find you. Okay.
It's like you know, when so what I do, this is the way I work, not just with the food, but with everything. It's like if I'm inspired to do something, I just go and do it. But I don't know I'm doing it. I just click on something, or I just watch something on here, but I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm just doing it. I have absolutely no idea. I'm just going with the flow in the moment and create. And
I know.
once I got inspired to watch, I might not be popular mentioning this, but to watch an interview where they interviewed Michael Jackson, and they
Right.
asked him about his music, and that was like, I don't know, a few years ago. I don't know when. And he really inspired me. He said to him, because this guy asked him about the music, or did you write it or whatever, and he says, "Excuse me, the music writes itself." So you see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. The food creates itself. The food comes to me. I don't. This is for me with this concept, and it can. I didn't even have to make any effort in this.
I know. It's fabulous.
It's created itself with me because I'm so in tune with it. And Andrew was talking yesterday about this taste, and I said to him, "This is it. This is my concept. Go beyond imagination. Go beyond that alchemy that even that we can know it is. That's real alchemy. What I do. This is the real alchemy. There is gastronomy, and there is alchemy, and there are a lot of people mix the two because it's a trendy word to use alchemy." Right? But gastronomy is different. Gastronomy, when you make all these smokes and things like that, that's gastronomy, you know.
Yes.
But what I do, it's alchemy, but like that's what I'm saying. It's beyond. It's beyond what we can imagine, and it is possible. And the taste, yes, the taste is like you can taste the light, you can taste the purity. Because I tasted those bowls with the blue. I had the blueberry one today with my blueberry shake. And as I had the blueberry, I could taste the purity of the almond.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yes. You're obviously really open then, Andrea, because when you describe the way that you can just walk out and you see the full moon or the new moon, or you see the wind, or you see the ocean, or you see a tree, or whatever it is, you're obviously really open to that energy, because you can come home and create with that as the backdrop to what you're creating.
Yes, and there are people who inspire me. They are close to me, like like Martin. Like I spoke to Andrew back in April, and today is when everything came to fruition. Today, everything that what he said, what we discussed, although he told me to make a blood sausage. I mean, you tell the raw vegan, hilarious. But what I'm saying is, today it came to fruition, but beyond my imagination. It went beyond even that I ever thought is possible. But without thinking, without effort, without anything, just creating.
Actually, I feel actually quite honored, to be here with you to celebrate that, that coming together for you. And in terms of the cooking, I've when you sit in Andrea's kitchen, it's like
This is Martina's seat.
I sit there and she's actually in a completely different world. Yeah. She does.
Yes.
She's completely so, and she talks to herself, and then she talks. I don't know. God knows who she talks to, and the perfectionism of it, and then needs a flower. And I said, I think we're good now. That's all right. No, 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 no. It has to be perfect. It has to look amazing. There is so much going on when she does it. It's almost like it's very interesting the way she works.
Yes.
So, and I think you actually brought that really through today. So that's really nice.
Yes, like I said, this is my concept. And of course, Martin knows we have been through so many tastings. And I don't need any more tastings. Martina is perfect. She's very good. She's professional. And it takes 100% responsibility to be a taster.
I want to say something here. It's not about me being a good taster, but I'm actually a meat eater. Okay.
Oh, yes.
It's not easy to make raw vegan interesting to a meat eater, and that makes a huge difference, because I can really come from a totally contrasting perspective. And I often, to be honest, and she knows that, I come home, make myself a steak and take her rolls and eat them with it. Yeah, because I love the combination of it,
Yes.
I make the most incredible
view about that, but
yes.
it's really this is what I'm saying. So there's a lot of that, but also let's just talk one thing here, because you're working on your own website, correct?
Yes, we are in the process of creating everything.
Yeah. So your food is you've done a lot of, well, you've done certificates for cleanliness and all that stuff that you need to, right?
Yes, I've finished the raw vegan food mastery. Yes, plant-based.
And the raw vegan food. So Andrea doesn't do anything halfway. Yeah, she's a perfectionist, obsessive, compulsive, whatever you want to call her. But that's the food you're gonna get. You're not getting anything that is below a certain quality level. That's the one thing we have to say. Even when she wraps it up, every time I get a menu and I get a flower, and it's like, Jesus Christ, woman, you're amazing. I mean, how much passion does go into this? And that's really what I want to point out here. So you will be actually you're obviously offering your food out now. It's raw vegan, so that stuff needs to be eaten on the day. Having said that, when it comes to the chocolate brownies,
some things can last, of course, but it's good to tell that to people, because obviously you don't want anybody to have a bad stomach.
Now there's another thing. You've started making apple cider vinegar.
Yes, apple cider vinegar is called the water of life, and in the magic portion was that. I make that. It's a process, and obviously the apples actually has a amazing meaning. I looked it up, but I haven't prepared to talk about it. But it's about paradise. So I will be writing about that. But they have an incredible meaning. So I thought, wow, that's the water of life, because we have to sustain ourselves, the water of life. So yes, I started to do that. I'm going to start with these drinks. as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, evolve every time, evolving.
Oh, another thing. Sorry, I just want to say a couple things that just come to mind now, because you've got these amazing breakfast balls,
Mm.
which you're started to
Yeah.
do now too. When you go, you have these kombucha. You're making all these different kombuchas. It's like a witch little kitchen. When you go and see her.
These are the breakfast balls Martina has got.
Yeah, I got some of those. So you're making kombucha. You also, what's the other thing I was going to mention? You obviously, with the lockdown, people can come to you live obviously in London, in Teddington, so people can come and pick up the orders and you do them on the day. Okay.
Yes.
So
It's fresh, all fresh.
It's all
Can
fresh.
I just interrupt to say that Alan has just made a suggestion here to link to your menu, Andrea. So maybe that's a good idea if you want to show
What
us.
do you, what do you mean?
The menu's right there. You can look at that. The menu's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
From today?
Well, maybe he means, more, maybe he means more things that you make. I can see the menu is there, but I just see Alan just said that. Link to your menu, Andrea.
Yeah, no,
Um,
Andrea, you don't have like a menu like that, because this is the thing with her. You just do it as you think about it.
In the moment. Of course, I'm going to have the trackables. I have the moneymaker parts, which people ordered. What I did for Mary, because for Mary, we did a selection of, I did her a selection of raw vegan treats, and Stephen, I don't know if Stephen is here.
Yeah,
So
he's here. Stephen just came.
Oh,
yes,
I think Stephen received it today.
yes, I received mine yesterday, and I have to say that it was just amazing. And I'm a meat eater too, and I actually found the food very filling. I didn't need to eat much of it, but I actually felt quite full, which was brilliant for me. It was just a very interesting experience, Andrea, and definitely one worthwhile. I see Laura here is saying it's a great honor to the plants and seeds to be alchemized by you. Yeah, true.
Yes. And some people ask me to alchemize their jewelry. Yeah. Some other people wanted to collaborate with me to help them to do that. The screen that you have, for example, now there are Christmas bonbons. Again, this is created with the earth, and they are remedial, because I do remedials like, let's say I have matcha, or I have chaga, which was Martina's drink, or I have reishi, the mushroom powders I add to the drinks. So all these powders, I just mix it with them, because it's good for your stomach, good for your gut, good for the cleansing as well. Whatever it requires in the moment. Like I have a little girl, I'm going to deliver some food on Saturday. And thank you for Martina for inspiring me to make this drink, because I'm going to make that for her, probably a bit more sweeter. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying. People inspire me to create stuff, and I thought, okay, cool, I'll create this. Then that would be good for the other person, which I didn't know that. I didn't plan that, but I thought, okay, that's what I'm saying. You just move forward as you with everything.
I love it's really organic, because you are continuously allowing it to evolve.
Yes.
Having been there from the beginning, it's and you can tell. I mean, even that chocolate mousse today was the best one I've ever had from you. So it's incredible the way you take on every single feedback and immediately out create it and make something else with it. And that is really commendable.
Of course, there were dishes didn't come out good, of course, but we practice.
Yeah.
But there has to be an aspect of you, though, that's very open, Andrea, to the creativity and to the constant change that you can apply to your creations. I think that's what impresses me the most. You hardly ever make anything you said that's the same. You're always doing something different, and you're always constantly in flow and in creation.
But you have to bear in mind that the work that I put in to myself, to my responsibility, to my self-identity, it's enormous.
I know.
I wake up at 4 a.m. Okay, by I do my work. Of course, I have to wake up and everything. Do my work 6 a.m. I do my exercise, my physical exercise with my personal trainer 3 times a week. But I do the clearings. I do the rewards. I put an extraordinary effort, and it's not even an effort for me because it's just like washing my hands for
Yes,
me. Of
it's a
course,
way of,
I take
it's
a
a way of
break.
living. Yeah, it's a way of life for you.
I take a break. Of course, I do. Everybody has to take a break. I go to the wild. I go to the nature. I go do this. I do things. One day I just go to sleep. All I do is sleep and eat, or whatever. But I do take a break, of course. But I do take 100% responsibility. Is it sometimes a little bit harder than the others? Of course.
Yeah.
But that's just what
Andrea,
it is.
we got a question here. Where can we know what is available to order and order it?
So
Yes.
this week, Martina, you had, I think I took to Ems and to you and Mary. Did I send you also the pots, didn't I? The chocolate pots.
You did, yes, yes, yes.
So these are the chocolate pots on the screen. I don't know whether this is just.
Well, until your website is finished and you got your staple foods like the moneymakers, fudge and
Yeah.
whatever else you're going to put down is, I think the best way of doing it is giving Andrea actually a call and say,
Yeah.
hey, what you got,
So this week we have the chocolate brownies and we have the chocolate pots this week as a dessert. Okay. I also have a sushi order. Martina loves her sushi and she tasted every sushi variation I made. She tasted it and we decided on one, which again is made with the macadamias. So it's no rice in it, no for your stomach.
Sorry to interrupt. Is this the macadamia? Because tell people that was, she tried so many different ones.
So many.
The last one, I think the macadamia, and you got cauliflower in it, right?
Yes, so it's no rice. Of course, everything is soaked. So what I do with the nuts, let me just find it what Martina is. What I do with the nuts, I soak the nuts. So there's like a sushi. One of the sushi, I ate this, but Martina also had a different one for her showdown. Um, I make that. I make the ancestral soup. They can order that. Moneymaker fudge. They can order chocolate brownies, chocolate balls, sushi. Like sushi, I'm delivering on Saturday. This lady, I gave her a little taste and she loved it, so she ordered some. Here it is.
And the other thing is actually to have a chat with her and say, look, this is what I'm doing at the moment, and inspire her because she's so open to that.
I always put it out on my this week, this is what's going, because what I do is I ask the earth what is required, because I'm aware of a lot of stuff. I'm clearing a lot of stuff, so I said, okay, this is what's required, like union in comedian. That's what's required. So I'm going to create that, or peace. One I connected to peace, so I created something like that. But what I'm saying is that the usual ones are the moneymaker fudge, sushi, the soup, the breakfast balls, the chocolate pot. Martina got the big cake because but that big cake is the same as the chocolate pot. It's just not.
I'm gonna eat this for a week. like Mary says. I mean, every time it is so filling. This stuff is so filling. And I suppose it's part of the passion that you put into it and the quality of the food, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree, Martina. I think you can actually taste that on the creations. I think the passion and the creativity that's in it and is that's what you're eating. It's
and you know what? I just want to say something here because my partner is South African and he is a braaier, barbecue. And when he makes a chicken, it's the same situation. Yes, it's meat, but the passion that goes into this by making the fire, burning the wood first to make the coals and enjoying, talking to the fire while he's doing it. It makes a difference when you actually have such a passion for food, and it's definitely coming through.
It's
So
like a ritual, isn't it then? Sorry.
habitual
Like a ritual, you know,
is
that
a
whole, yeah.
ceremony, and absolutely, yeah, it
Mm.
is a ceremony.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Go on, Martina, I interrupted you.
No, I'm just on a roll here. So any questions from anyone before we're gonna close it off with the closing prayer? We got any more questions? Is everyone just hungry now, waiting to?
I don't see.
Hungry.
I don't see the chat. I don't know.
There's quite a few has come up in the chat, but I think we've kind of raised the most. Yeah, the
There was something what your attitude towards meat, towards purity of meat or something. I can't, for some reason, I don't know how to go up here. I think Alan asked the question. Alan, did you ask the question what her attitude towards meat is?
He did, and I think he was wondering if you know, impurity versus purity. This, I think that was sort of the question, wasn't it?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Yeah. Would you consider meat, Andrea, impure?
I don't have any point of view about it. Everybody can eat whatever they want to eat. I don't have any point of view.
Okay. Right.
You know, it's I create what I create, and like it said in the revocation, that everybody can choose what they would like to eat. It's entirely up to them. I don't,
Yes.
you know, I don't want to force upon anything on anyone. You know, this is what my body likes. This is what my body loves and enjoys. So that's what I'm creating. I'm merely inviting to a different experience because I know that a meat is associated with protein. So I wanted to showcase protein. I want to show people if and should they choose, it's possible to eat raw vegan or just vegan and a lot of protein because I eat more protein than a meat eater. So if you really research vegan and raw vegan, you will find that there are so many proteins that you can.
Yes.
But you have to, like we always say, you have to make your own research. You have to see what's good for your body and all these questions.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. And if there are no further questions, then I would like for Andrea to finish off her closing prayer. And we just want to thank you for sharing your journey with us, and thank you everyone for dining with us. And we all hope it was a slightly different way of doing the Earth Nouveau, which I like. Contrast is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for everybody. We're going to close with the prayer, and then I will disconnect from there. Yeah, if I find the button.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you
also,
so much.
I want to thank you for Martina, for Earth Nouveau, for Mary, and for whoever came, my friends who were here, and the usual people who were here. I'm very grateful for them and for anyone who will watch this, and you know, all the creatures of the universe. So
thank you, Andrea. It was an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The peace of I. Peace be with you. All my peace. The peace that is I, the peace that is I am. The peace for always, now and forever and evermore. My peace I give to you. My peace I live with you. Not the world's peace, but only my peace. The peace of I. Aloha.
Aloha. Aho.
Aloha. Aho.